presiding judge here today, Connor McBride.
Order the court!
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, today we are here to discuss the trial of Hitchens versus Kissinger. The defendant, Henry A. Kissinger, is being accused of crimes against humanity and war crimes. Will the defendant please come up to swear and only tell the truth on the Bible? Alright, place your hand here. Do you swear to tell the truth and the only truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You should please call their first witness.
The prosecution calls up Henry A. Kissinger to the stand.
So, why did you drop a 15,000-pound bomb on Cambodia, a country that we were in war with?
It was necessary. Cambodia seized the Marquez U.S. ship, and U.S. soldiers were on the ship.
But was it necessary to kill that many civilians, even though the ship was evacuated?
It was
So a senior division officer also stated that innocent people that were unarmed were gunned down by military helicopters in open fields.
Objection, Your Honor. That is speculative.
Sustained, you're jumping to conclusions, and there's a lack of sufficient evidence in that line of
Any
questioning.
involvement in telling pilots they didn't have to check for civilians before they bombed?
I plead the fifth.
There is no evidence of Henry Kissinger as National Security Advisor or Secretary of State ever seeking even such modest assurances. And to quote Henry, they gotta go in there, and I mean really go in there. I don't want the gunships, I want the helicopter ships. I want everything that can fly and go in. They need to crack the hell out of them. There is no limitation on mileage, and there is no limitation on budget. Is that clear?
So our next example of your crimes is the invasion of East Timor. Were you part of the conspiracy over it?
No, sir. I had no idea about the invasion of East Timor until later that day when I arrived at the airport.
I disagree. Gathered from you and Ford's conversation with General Serrato and from an interview from President Ford, and this is all gathered through the Freedom of Information Act, it was discussed that you did in fact know about the impending invasion of East Timor. Your involvement in this invasion and the sellings of American M16s to Indonesian troops resulted in a figure of 100,000 deaths in the first wave of the invasion. That is 1/6 of the entire population. The East Timor invasion has resulted in over 200,000 deaths, and all you wanted was a speedy recovery.
We, the U.S., cannot assure world peace.
Your comments are heavily larded with rhetoric about credibility and the need to impress other countries in the world with the American ways of resolving issues. Also, your rhetoric leads to improvised lying and on numerous occasions.
In the matters of Henry Kissinger and his involvement in the Cambodian tragedies, Hitchens is effective at persuading his audience due to his impassioned tone and use of logos evidence. When accusing Kissinger of being ineffective at his role of Secretary of State, the impassioned tone persuaded me to share Hitchens' feelings for Kissinger. When Kissinger is unable to do his duties, Hitchens uses his tone to point out how his responsibilities were just modest assurances, undermining the difficulty of his role in the White House. This puts more guilt on Kissinger, whose oversight on Cambodia. Hitchens implies that his job can be done better by someone who simply cares more about human life like Hitchens. In addition to his tone, Hitchens is effective at using logos evidence to persuade his audience. By bringing up the 15,000-pound bomb, he uses exact evidence to support his claim. The use of an exact figure also to help boost his credibility by showing he is knowledgeable about the topic. In taking all this evidence together, I will have to find Henry A. Kissinger guilty of war crimes and crimes against humanity. After many hours of consideration, Henry A. Kissinger, you are found guilty of war crimes and crimes against humanity by the court of law.
Stupid, stupid, stupid. I told you this was bad.
That was
I get carried away. Dude,